What is up? We have Heat Celtics tomorrow. The Heat, just as they were in game 3, are pretty big underdogs in game 4 on May 23rd. And what we are going to be going through is the best player prop picks, the best DFS picks. So I have an entry on PrizePicks that I'm going to share with you. But the first thing I'd like to do is mention that when you are using the OddsJam software, you need to be conscious of the distribution. So what I mean by that is if we look at total points, this is the Mavs-Warriors game tonight. If we look at total points, right, the jump from over 214 to over 214 and a half on Pinnacle Sportsbook, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, minus 143 to minus 133, from 214 to 214 half, right? Only 10 cents of movement, right? But what's fascinating is in the player props, these, right, when we're looking at Wiggins rebounds, for example, from Wiggins over 4.5 rebounds, that's minus 240 on FanDuel. Over 5.5 is minus 122, right? So when you're looking at player props where the distribution is centered around a much smaller number, these jumps from 4.5 to 5, 4.5 to 5.5 are pretty massive in terms of the odds you're getting, right? So that is something to consider when you are using OddsJam and looking for value, right? So as an example, the first player prop for Celtics Heat that I really like to include in my entry is Jaylen Brown over 3 assists. So PrizePicks, again, we've said this numerous times. PrizePicks has implied odds, right? On PrizePicks, you can't stake money on just one player prop. You have to include at least 2 player props in your entry, right? However, any 2-pick entry, you are getting implied odds of plus 200, right? So if I take the under for Butler and Brown assists, $20 to win 60. If I take the over for both, $20 to win 60. If I replace Jimmy Butler with, goalie saves in this random MLS game, $20 to win 60. And this to win includes your entry stake, right? So it's $20 to win $40 in profit, which is just, right? That is just plus 200 odds. So any 2-pick, 2-player props in your entry is simply going to be minus or plus 200 odds. So what we can do is we can reverse engineer essentially what is the break-even win probability we need to beat for our entry to be mathematically profitable and positive EV. And essentially on PrizePicks, every pick in your 2-pick entry is going to be an implied price of minus 137, right? That is the implied odds PrizePicks is giving you on every single pick, right? So let's go down. Let's take a look here. Jaylen Brown, minus 137 on PrizePicks. That is the implied price for over 3. Now, most sports books, you can see Pinnacle Sportsbook, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, they have the over 3.5, 3.5 assists favored, right? Minus 118. So this over 3 is guaranteed mathematically profitable, right? This is a massive jump from over 3 to 3.5. Just as we saw with Wiggins, there is a massive jump from 4.5 to 5.5. So you can assume, the jump from 3 to 3.5 is pretty dang big, and it is. You can use a Poisson distribution calculator if you kind of want to get a sense of what the implied change would be. But that is the first pick I'm going with. Very sharp player prop pick for Celtics Heat on May 23rd. I really like it. Jaylen Brown over 3.5 assists. Now, the next one I really like is Jimmy Butler over 4. So again, there's going to be a big jump from 4 to 4.5. I really like Jimmy Butler over 4. You can see every sportsbook has the line set at 4.5, and we can get over 4 on PrizePicks. So this is a great pick to include in your entry. Jimmy Butler over 4 assists, and I'm going with it. So we have 2 picks in my entry. Jaylen Brown over 3 assists. Jimmy Butler over 4 assists. $100 plus 200 odds. Thanks to OddsJam, right? Comparing the odds on PrizePicks, the implied odds on PrizePicks, to NBA player prop odds on sportsbooks, right? This will help you find value, find mathematically profitable, positive EV player props on PrizePicks. So again, you can also use the positive EV page, but you can also just, as I just did, you can go into an event and you can just kind of look at the odds. You can scan the player props and see where PrizePicks differs from the sports books, and this should help you identify value. So we'll lock this entry in, $100. Brown over 3 assists, Butler over 4 assists. Best player prop for tomorrow on PrizePicks, 523 NBA betting for Celtics Heat, right? Let's make some money.